have the other ones available in there. But
what? So, Luke, what are you drinking today? Coca-Cola.
Morning on the way to the gym and set my ukulele on top of the car and then drove off down the road.
Going to be the bow after that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Look at that.
Yo! I learned my lesson from last time. What a welcome, thank you. I drink the most fruity drinks imaginable.
It's laundry day.
it's laundry day.
So you always wear hats with laundry day?
Here, did you a favor, James. I just say, later.
So how did you two meet?
Well, there's these places in San Francisco. I think they're called bathhouses.
It's like one of those things where everyone wants to focus on like the big events that happen, but day to day, what we're doing is we're on like one of our draw streams, smoking weed, making comics. It's chill. It's so much fun, and like
Yes. Man, I'm not a YouTuber. I do this because I want to sell comic books. I forgot to add myself. What's going on? What is going on, guys? Guys, I don't know why I'm so small. Let me see. Let me see. Add. I don't know what's going on. Wait, let me try this. This works. Wow, that's a good start. That's a good start. Can you guys hear me fine? Is everything does everything works? Everything functions? Does it sound good? Usually I'm in a different room. But it's far too warm there, and this is the room with some sort of echo. So I'm sitting in the kitchen right now. Wait, let me move this around a little bit. So there we go. Holy shit, dude. Guys, welcome guys to another episode of A Drink with Brink, episode 230. That's nuts. My guest has not showed up yet, so I don't have a guest just yet right now. So, but we have plenty to talk about. So we will just wait for the guest before we bring him up. Hopefully he will arrive. Let's see who's in the chat. In the chat is Mike. Mike, Dave, have a happy, successful Safeguard KS launch, and cheers to you and the guest for today's drink. Thank you. Can see and hear you fine, Dave. Oh, thank you for the confirmation, Mike. Thank you so much. Hello, Easlyn Bergholder. Nice to see you. I don't see you that often. It's really cool to see you in the chat. Really cool. I hope you're doing well. So guys, as some of you know, we launched Safeguard Pandemonium. We launched Safeguard on Kickstarter yesterday, exactly 24 hours ago, right? And it went very well, thanks to all of you guys who showed up and who shared the campaign and who backed it, and really cool. If you missed the launch stream, you can still watch it. I was there with Alan Goldman, the artist, so you can see Alan. But yeah, so I'm really, guys, you never know how these things go. You have a new campaign. Every campaign is its own thing, so it's very difficult to predict what will happen. So really happy that things went well. I got a message from the guest. Sorry, he fell asleep, he says. So he's on his way. Right. Hey, Dr. Mask, Retro Elixir. Welcome. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, sir. Good afternoon to you. Right. So yeah. While the guest is setting things up, I can showcase, guys, the campaign that we launched yesterday and how it's going. So let me share the screen for a moment. There we go. So this is to the stage. There we go. Safeguard Pandemonium on Kickstarter. Look at this, guys. We have 63 backers now within 24 hours, which is astonishing. It's really, really cool. Yeah, we're now, I believe we're now nearing 60% funded. So that's massive. That is really fantastic. I'm really grateful. Yeah, I'm really grateful, guys. So it's exciting to see that this is doing well. You know, we had this on the FundMyComic like months ago when we kind of first started to produce the book, right? We had part of it done. Now the book is almost done. So Alan is now working on the last 3 pages, right? Gordon Goodbrother, hey, welcome, sir. How are you today on this warm day? Is it still warm there, guys? It's still warm where you are, right? Let me remove this for a moment because I think the guest gets ready. Jerome, are you ready, sir? Jerome, are you ready? Just let me know. Jerome is typing. Oh, Mike says, I see that Aaron Lopresti reposted Rebel Comics X message of You Forgot Jamin Comics for this amazing book, Perfect 10, which by far is one of the best indie comic series out there. What? That's excellent. That is fantastic. Yeah, that is fantastic. It's so like it's really snowballing, you know. So we had like more and more people discover this series now, and now that we have the trade paperback, more people are jumping on, you know. So yeah, I don't know where things go, but I'm really, really excited that so many people like it. All right, it's time for the guest, guys. The guest has arrived, so let's bring him on. Let's do this. Let's see what's happening, what's going on, you know. So, ladies and gentlemen, may I have a very warm welcome for the guest of the hour, Mr. Jerome Hinds. Yeah.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Oh, so sorry that I'm late. I actually fell asleep.
That
I was waking up, and I just dozed off. It's 2 a.m. out here in Singapore.
Oh, you're in Singapore?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't realize. So it's really, really early. So you try to stay awake to do the show, and yeah, I know the situation. So what did you do? What did you do to pass the time?
What you mean today or in general?
Yeah. No, just today to keep awake, to stay awake.
Well, the problem was I had a game of football earlier. Right? And when you're running around in the 5 o'clock sun at my age, it's not a good idea. So I was there, I was awake, and I just dozed off, and then I jumped up again. I'm so sorry. So sorry.
No problem, man. No problem. You're right. You're right here. Do you have something to drink to keep you awake? Do you need to prepare something? You know? Do you need a coffee or something? No.
I'm all right. I'm all right.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Well, that tackled the first question because this is a drink with Brink, so I need to ask that, right? So, what do you drink today? Right. Okay, sir. Let's see. We have welcome, Mr. Hinds. Says Mike.
Hey.
Yes.
What's up, Mike?
Yes, and we have in the chat Carrie Louise. Hey guys, only you can be late, Jerome, to shilling.
Yes. Carrie's like my unofficial manager. She's been scolding me for not shilling enough.
Okay.
And I've turned up late. And I was just my luck that Carrie has seen me be late. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
sorry, Carrie, but I'm here. I'm shilling.
Yeah, I know the problem. I have, because I'm from Europe, right? The largest part of my audience is from the United States. So there is a at least 6 hour time difference, right? So oftentimes when I need to show my own campaigns, I need to stay up like you're doing right now, right? Yeah. And it's not always easy, especially when you need to do several in 1 week. It's crazy sometimes.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. And that was on earlier this morning as well. I mean, I had my late my Super Saturdays draw along. That was this morning at 6 a.m. my time.
Right.
Right. And so again, my sleep patterns are dreadful.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. So right, so you're not really shilling, but you don't really have a campaign also right now. Is that correct? This is like you're kind of promoting what you're doing, but it's not connected to a running campaign or something.
Well, not really, because normally I do Kickstarters, yeah. But how to draw characters from the Thunderzone is going out. It's available on Amazon.com, and that starts on Saturday, Independence Day. I'm celebrating comic books by launching on Independence Day.
Oh, that is cool. That is cool. Carrie Louise says she's in the UK.
Yes, she's in my home place.
Yeah, but you live. What did you say? Where do you live now? What?
I live in Singapore now. I've been here for about 30 years.
Oh wow!
In Singapore, yeah.
So you came from the UK. You moved over to Singapore to live there, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, and so you are a artist. You put together this book, How to Draw the Characters from the Thunderzone, right? So you are the artist, correct?
Yeah, and the writer.
And the writer also, right?
Yeah.
So is that your profession? Are you a artist from profession?
A bit. My main profession. Okay, my main profession is I'm teaching people how to draw and write here in Singapore. I'm what's called the president of the Association of Comic Artists Singapore.
Wow.
Right. No, listen, I spent over 30 years in advertising and design. You know, your conventional creative director, art director, copywriter, I started visualizer. But, you know, back in the old days, there was no digital cameras. There was no instant imaging. So, you know, you start life off by, you would have to draw a product. Like, you know, if someone's selling a drill or a hammer or anything, you would have to draw that product before the photographer takes a photograph. So I started life as a visualizer with marker paints. Then, but because I think I like comic books, I've always liked the written word. So quite often I do a visual. And if someone said to me, okay, Jerome, we've got a tin of tomatoes that we're selling. I could just draw the tin of tomatoes. I would then give myself a headline to give my drawing a direction. And quite often I'd find that my visual would come back and the actual ad campaign would go out and my headline wasn't changed. And that's how I got into actual copywriting. But I started life as a visualizer. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
So I was doing that here in Singapore.
Okay. But why in Singapore? Why was there?
You could probably guess. It was a woman.
Okay. Right. Yes. That will do it. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Okay.
Well, I met her when she was studying at the local university. I'm from a town called Reading in the southeast of England. And we have a very old, auspicious university there, the University of Reading. She was studying law there at the time. So I met her, came out here for a holiday, and I really liked it. And of course, the main language here is English. So to find a job here in advertising and design wasn't that difficult. And I really liked it. Dave, I have to make sure you can understand what I'm saying, because I have a habit of speaking too fast. Now, with my British accent, and my parents were from Barbados in the Caribbean, we always talk too fast.
Okay.
Mixing these things up with a bit of Singaporean, I watch back my podcast sometimes and I'm thinking to myself, I'm not sure that people understood what I just said. So I'm consciously trying to slow down. It happened in my stand-up comedy. I did a bit of stand-up out here as well.
You did stand-up comedy also? Holy shit.
Yeah, just for a laugh. But I had to stop. I only promote it now. I had to stop doing it because I didn't have enough time to write the quality of jokes that I wanted to. But certainly going on stage, I had to make sure I slowed down. I'm much better than I was.
Right. So you're very conscious about yourself while you speak?
Yes. Speaking too fast.
Yes.
I can be guilty of
Okay.
that. If I carry anyone out there, if I'm going too fast, say, Jerome, slow down, boy.
Yes, we will let you know. Chat, you can put it in the chat. Slow down when Jerome is talking too fast. We will let him know. Hey, welcome, meme Lord Woodrow. Welcome, Woodrow. Welcome. Hey, Dan San. Welcome, Dan.
Oh, Dan's in the house.
Yes, we do have the GWP Thunderzone Kickstarter live now, and you can get Jerome's Supercross 1 through 5 there. Okay,
right.
so you
now
also
you see what
made...
Kerry means, right? Yeah, it's I'm terrible
Yeah.
at filling. How can I possibly forget Supercross 1 to 5 out now with Thunderzone? You can get that as part of the Guided Powers Kickstarter.
Okay, I never received that link, so I have to look it up.
Yeah, Mike. Oh, thank you very much, Mike.
Yes, you sound understandable. So that's
Mr. President.
Mr. President. There you go. There you go. Jerome's 30-minute written stand-up sets were only 10 minutes live.
You're right, mate. I had to start out.
Wow, so you are very creative by nature. You because you draw and you have this creative brain because you also produce like jokes, right? And you like to.
Yeah, that's probably right. Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah, you need to.
Whether or not it's any good. Yeah, whether or not it's any good, that's up for debate. But yeah, about creating stuff.
Okay, great. So you also made comic books. So Dan posted something. You made this series, Supercross.
Yeah. So I'll go back to the beginning. Yeah, out here in Singapore, there's a very big comic book community. So of course, I'd spent decades in advertising and design. So I learned how to make something print ready, which is not to be taken for granted. Well, okay, David, right? You produce comics.
Yes.
Do you letter your comics yourself, or do you have a letterer?
No, I have a letterer.
You have a letterer, right?
Yes.
You've probably seen things like independent comics where the lettering is the wrong size, or the artist turns in the artwork and there isn't a bleed. Like, if the image goes off the page, you have to have extra image so the printer can cut. Right now, the average person knows nothing about things like this. So, out here, so you could say I became the president of the association, not really through excellence, but through default, because I was the only one that understood all of these things amongst all the artists. Listen, I'm an artist, you're an artist, and we can be some of the most difficult people in the world.
Yeah.
You can tell an artist, I want your artwork produced at this size. And they turn the pages in, and the artwork is not that size.
No.
It's not those dimensions.
Yes.
Right? So, going in, adding background, adding this and that, because I could do it and no one would notice, I can draw in someone else's art style. I was just the perfect editor. So that's how then I started putting out some of the material from Singapore through my Nice One Comics out here in Singapore. And that was back in the early 2000s.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Wait, so Dan posted the link to the campaign.
Yes, guys with powers.
Where people can get your book. I don't think I can copy it here. Can I? It's not pasted on my own channel. I don't know which channel this is, guys, so I can't grab it right now. But you guys, I can find it. Give me a moment and I will find it. Guys with powers. I will find it, guys. No worries. So how did this come about? This series that you made, Supercross.
Okay, so Supercross, I actually started back in the mid-2010s, and it was distributed out here in Singapore, but only in Southeast Asia, in this area. So with Dan and Thunderzone Comics, now it's available to the whole world. So all 6 issues are already complete. 5 are in the market at the moment. and the next campaign will be probably somewhere in the next few months for issue number 6. But it was a comic. It's set in Singapore. The main protagonist is 2 local superheroes, super creative. One is called Singapore Sling, named after the country, of course. And the irony is Singapore Sling is an alcoholic beverage, but she's not old enough to drink. So that's quite ridiculous. But
I know this character. I know this character. I have a lot of comics from Argo, and she appeared in some books. Maybe it's Supercross. I can't remember, but I know that character. Yes,
that's right. Yes, she's from Supercross. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah.
And then her main partner in crime is a guy called D. Temasek. And Temasek is the original name of Singapore in the local tongue. So it's like 2 local superheroes. But I'd have to say the main protagonist is actually American. The plot is you've got a superstar magician, right? So this lady, she's a grand illusionist, but she's not actually, her name is Mist, but she's not actually an illusionist. She actually has these powers.
All right.
But she just pretends that she's like David Blaine, this kind of thing. So she comes to Singapore on tour, and her tour runners are actually pretty big in a crime syndicate. So that's where the trouble starts, and you get the supervillains coming out and that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah, and it's set in Singapore, so you see lots of landmarks of Singapore throughout the book. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. You can tell where you got your inspiration and all of that. Really cool, man. So how did you connect with Dan? How did that happen? That you went through Thunderzone?
Okay, in the late 2010s, there was another art collective. You know, most of these things are in America. I mean, look at you, right? You're Dutch, right? You're in the Netherlands.
Yes.
Right. I mean, but you're on a US network because superheroes. When it comes to this kind of genre, America is where it's happening. So I was part of a collective, and I was brought in by a guy from Ireland, a guy named Nigel Flood. He has a book out with Thunderzone called The Squad. So there was just loads of us in there, right? But I think the most foreign was probably me and Nigel. And Dan was in that old collective. That old collective, a few things kind of went awry here and there, but a few of us stayed in touch. Dan started Thunderzone, and so that's how we met. Part of an old collective, but I think in 2020 is when Dan actually went it alone with Thunderzone. And I created the logo for him. The Thunderzone
you did?
Logo. Yeah.
Oh,
because
cool.
that was corporate IDs and that was my thing, wasn't it? So I said, okay, Dan, I think I can probably do something here. So I ran a few designs by him. Actually, that's in the book. I explained about that in the book.
Cool. Yeah. So could people potentially still approach you if they want a logo design or something? Do you do that?
I still do that kind of stuff on the side. That's for corporate clients. Okay, that's probably where I make most of my money, right? Sure. Or like when I do corporate workshops on storytelling, that's where I make the bulk of my living.
Okay.
That's where the real money is for me. And teaching, of course, doing like classes for large schools and that kind of thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really cool, man. Guys, I put the link in the chat. So it's now on all the channels. So we are broadcasting through multiple channels. I put it here so you can find it wherever you're watching from. And it will take you to Guys with Powers. And I think your book will be one of the add-ons people can get, or like in a bundle or something like that, right?
Yes, there's a back catalog where you can get, you've got some of the old Argos, some of the old Thunderzone stuff. You can pick up a lot of the digital copies, the print stuff as well. But part of the back catalog, that's where you can get it.
Cool.
Definitely.
Yes, but today we are talking about how to draw characters from the Thunderzone. Who came up with this idea to do this?
I suppose it was me, because what happened was, over the years, I've been doing lots of drawing for Thunderzone. So I've just been drawing these characters over and over again, different covers, promo art, pinups, all over the place. So then it accumulated to a point that I realized that, because I teach as well, I build a syllabus. So quite often, when I draw something for Thunderzone, I would draw it methodically to give to my students here in Singapore. And also, I'm spreading the name of the characters amongst people who might never ever see these characters.
Right.
But then I approached Dan. I said, "Hey, Dan, I think we can make an art book out of my old notes because most of them are produced very methodically. You know, I deliberately draw things from a very start point. Like, Dave, I'd like to ask you, your anatomies are extraordinary. Your drawing is absolutely brilliant. And I don't know if you ever do work, if you ever do streams when you draw from scratch. But your process for, I think a lot of your viewers, I mean, maybe you're already doing it, but I'm not aware of it. But yeah, you know, just building something up, a blank piece of paper, and how you come up with a character. I always treat it as if it's in a syllabus. So then I just have to transpose it into a book and put a narrative to it. And of course, an order, a logical order of which exercise comes first to the last one.
Right. Yeah. By the way, I appreciate the kind words, Jerome. What you probably saw most of is like artwork from artists that I work with. I'm primarily a writer and a publisher, right? So I create, I write, but I work with a lot of phenomenal artists, right? And many of them do indeed have like YouTube channels where you can follow their drawing process. It's really, really fascinating.
All right, I will do that.
Yes. Right. So you gave me, by the way, a video. Shall we show that?
Yes.
To start with, to get things going. I think that's pretty cool. So let's show the guys the trailer to how to draw characters from the Thunderzone. There we go.
Paying tribute and great homage to the United States of America on its esteemed 250th birthday comes How to Draw Characters from the Thunderzone Activity Book. A 188-page activity book that launches on July 4th, 2026. Written and illustrated by Jerome Hinds, president of the Association of Comic Artists Singapore. Comes the ultimate tribute to the birthplace that brought to the world the splendor of superheroes and comic books. Jerome is a creator and senior editor at USA-based Thunderzone Comics, and in the book, he shares with you the knowledge and methodologies of his work from over the past 8 years, all neatly wrapped up in a 10-chapter step-by-step tutorial. He covers full-length character construction, studies in hands and feet, secrets in foreshortening with props and weapons wielding, plus penciling techniques, inking, digital coloring, and even comic book cover layouts. It's all here and available in both soft or hardcover. And if you really can't wait to get your hands on the physical thing, there's always the digital guidebook edition available for pre-order now. How to Draw Characters from the Thunderzone Activity Book, with Jerome Hinds launching Independence Day 2026. Exclusively available from Amazon.com and launched streaming live only on Madness Entertainment Group.
Yay!
That was fantastic. So first off, the voice. Who's the voice that was fantastic?
The voice is Salty Painter from my software. What is it? CapCut. From CapCut.
What?
Yeah, it's basically speech to narration. Sorry.
Really? Holy shit.
Text to speech.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounded great. Great.
It had the right emotion for what I was trying to get across.
Yeah, really.
The funny thing with, sometimes the AI, you can tell AI to say something, but it might not say it with the right intonation.
Right.
So it's a bit hit and miss. But I think his name's Salty Painter. It's a voice from within the CapCut software. And he caught that vibe. And of course, I'm a musician as well. I do all that editing and music and all that. So mixing up the fireworks and all that. Even Guys with Powers, the other Thunderzone campaign at Kickstarter, now live, has a great trailer that Dan wrote the lyrics, but I put together the music and the rest for it, which is something else that I really like to do, which was part of advertising. I used to write jingles. In the old days when people listened to the radio, right? Or a TV ad. Sometimes, right, you get a TV ad and you have to write a jingle. And because I was a musician for many years, I couldn't wait to get in the studio. And actually, I used to try to persuade my clients to come up with a jingle just so I could get in the studio to play some instruments.
Wow.
So yeah, that's carrying through with Thunderzone all the time.
Yeah, you did it all, man. That's you had a very, very interesting career. Like, really cool.
Yeah, I've been very lucky in that respect.
Yeah. Gordon Goodwell says it almost sounded like that guy who narrates street fights. Oh, yeah. I know.
It's kind of in that thing. Yeah, man. Fighting power, being G'd up.
Yes.
That's what it's all about. Yeah.
Salty Peter, double entendre here. Yeah.
Double entendre.
I love it, says Mike. I appreciate a trailer with a beginning to end voiceover rather than a couple of minutes of nothing but a music track. Yeah.
All right.
Well, Jerome knows what he's doing. So.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Right. So cool. So how to draw characters from the Thunderzone. So most of what people can find in this book, you already drew like across the last few years, correct?
Yes. These are what I would like to describe as genuine drawings. What I mean is they come from actual campaigns and covers.
Right.
I don't think there's any drawings there that I drew. Okay, the only things that I drew fresh was at the beginning of each beginning of each chapter. Like, is it okay if I change what's on the screen? Yeah,
they don't get American prison lingo. Yeah, that's probably it. Some things go over my head, guys. So I'm sorry about that. Yeah.
So I missed that. What was that? They don't get the American what?
Yeah, the Salty Peter thing.
Double entendre. Oh, okay. I think I know where he's coming from.
But these are little like designs or sketches or things you did, right? In the last few years, you put it together here.
Right. And these are the chapters. So you can see here, for example. Can you see my mouse? Yeah, you can, right? You can see my mouse, right?
I cannot. I cannot see your mouse. No.
Can you see it now? Can you see it moving on the first panel?
No. Oh yes, I can. Yes, sorry, man. I can. Yes.
Okay. So basically, there's 10 chapters, right? So it starts with a foreword by me. Then chapter 1 is heads, faces, and bust construction. Chapter 2 is something that I've called tough stuff, hands and feet. That's tough stuff 1. Because even though this is not a full art book, there are some things that are a little bit tough. So I just had to include it. To just ask someone to pick up your book and follow your drawings, and they've never drawn hands and feet before. That just felt a bit unreasonable to me, right? So tough stuff 1 is hands and feet.
Right.
In chapter 3 is full-length construction. Chapter 4 is full-length construction with props. Then chapter 5 is tough stuff 2, foreshortening. Again, when they come into drawing, remember, I'm still on this journey of learning how to draw. So I'm treating this as if I was the student. And these are things that I wish someone told me when I was 12 years old.
Right.
Yeah. When you're 32, 52, or 12, these things are the cornerstones of learning how to draw. Right? So chapter 6 is tough stuff 3, foreshortening with forced perspective.
Okay, cool, man. Good brother says, send Rob Liefeld this book. And welcome to the chat, some person. Welcome.
Oh, dear. Yeah, poor Rob gets a lot of stick out there. I'm a real Rob fan, actually. I'm a life fan.
Rob is doing fine. He can take it.
Man. Chapter 7 is penciling and shading. Chapter 8 is penciling to inking. Then chapter 9 is digital coloring and shading. And the last chapter is covers and promos gallery. This is where you actually get to see where these drawings originally appeared. Because I draw digitally and everything is in a separate layer. Even if something is hidden, I do something that's called drawing through the object. I would draw all of my characters separately. This is also to give Dan, who's the editor-in-chief, maximum flexibility. He might want a particular character a bit bigger or moved somewhere. When you're drawing digitally, you can do this. Of course, if you're drawing traditionally, you don't really have that flexibility. But when you're doing digital, this sort of stuff is open to you.
Right. Yeah. Gordon says, I need that tough stuff 3 myself.
We all need it, mate. We all need it. In fact, Tough Stuff 3, the foreshortening with force perspective. I've recently been doing a lot of inking of a great artist named Gene Colan. Well, I've given myself these exercises. It's called my midweek Gene Colan pencil tribute. So there's a Gene Colan appreciation Facebook group. So every Wednesday evening, I post some inking that I do of Gene Colan. I take an old Gene Colan pencil and I interpret it. And that guy was brutal with forced perspective and lowering the camera. And I didn't realize that I was influenced by him so much. He did a lot of shadows and that kind of stuff, you know, but yeah, it's really interesting subject.
Right. Yeah, cool. And then, right, so, okay. Oh, look at this. Now we're really going into it. Cool.
Yeah, no, this is chapter 1, right? Chapter 1, heads, faces, and bust construction.
Yes. I think...
Yeah, go on.
I think many artists, especially young people who want to draw comic books, they like to skip all of this, right? They want to go immediately to drawing the cool shit, right? Without wanting to draw the fundamentals, right? Yeah. I also think a lot of young people think they can learn from looking at comic books, which to some degree is true, right?
Yeah.
But you still need to practice the fundamentals of drawing, right?
Yes. I often heard this when I was younger and I didn't fully appreciate it. But quite often, Dave, what simply happens is they have no exposure to it. There's just, if you try to find a book on absolute basics of drawing, like this thing here, finding the center of an object up here. Right, if you look, top left.
Yeah.
I've lost my mouse. Top left.
I can see it, yeah.
Okay, good. One thing that I discovered in drawing is finding the center of an object. If you know where the center of something is, you have much more chance of drawing it accurately. But I've never found this written anywhere. There are certain things that I've discovered in drawing that I've scoured many different books, but no one mentions this. They mention it in part, but not everything. So this is the basic framework. Everything in this book is done here with finding the center of an object and also dimensions, finding the front, center, top, and bottom, defining that or understanding where it is. And then finally, with the orange lines here, something that I call contour trajectories, making sure that you know the direction something is traveling in.
Right
at the beginning, understanding and appreciating this just makes life a lot easier.
Sure, right.
You know, sometimes someone draws something and you'd hear them say, it doesn't look right. Finding out why it doesn't look right, that's the challenge. And normally you check these things, right? You can normally trace where the problem is. Yeah. So then here, right at the beginning, very simple sketches on faces. And this principle of center and trajectories and dimensions applied to very, very simple drawing. So I've just got a couple of pages here from each chapter. If you want me to keep going through them.
Yeah, please do. It's really, it's fascinating.
Okay, so here's where I like to think my book is a little bit original in that this, as you heard in the trailer, it's an activity book. So you draw on the page. Now, of course, you don't have to. If you bought the hardcover and it's cost you $40 or whatever it is, and you don't want to draw in the book, by all means, just keep the book to one side and draw on separate paper.
Sure.
But if you want to draw in the book, you draw in the spaces that are provided. In the very first exercise, I've given the template for the head and the crosshairs. But after that, you notice that the second page on the right, that beginning is not there. You're totally by yourself there. And what happens is, as you go through the book, you may learn basic sketching on something, but later on that exercise comes back with further rendering, inking, and coloring. So you go back to the original exercise and you add to it, but you build it up as each chapter shows you how to treat it. Now, of course, I can't do it with every single drawing because the book would be 1,000 pages.
Yeah.
But when you learn the basics on certain drawings, you can go back and start to apply some of this to some of the other drawings where the further study maybe wasn't there. Or the next time you see it, it might be in the inking section. So that tells you how you should go back and maybe render your pencils. So that's the way the book is kind of geared.
Right. Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Really cool.
So here's a little bit more from chapter 1.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is a bust, and we can see here that the head, this is Sweet Tooth. He's a bad guy from Supercross. Now his head, good. Now you see his head is foreshortened.
Yeah.
And it's obscuring the neck. So here you break it down into the skeleton and why exactly these different volumes are obscured, the dimensions, the sides and the front, etc. So I start with busts at the beginning, but later the full length will come into it. Again here, this is Officer Alloy. He's from Big House Blues. That's one of Dan's best creations. You probably remember Big House Blues.
Yeah,
once you can't forget it.
I know it. I know it, yes.
Yeah, so there you see the basic penciling. There's no rendering. And this is page 13.
Right.
So then here we got an extract from Tough Stuff number 1. So this is how we go through the hands. And
look at that. That's cool.
I tell you, man, Dave, I tell you what, right? I wish I knew this when I was younger. If you're going to draw a hand, you know, we all draw one finger at a time. No, man, you just draw the basic shape of the palm and you draw a skeleton of fingers, right? When you're young, you just don't know this. No one tells you this. Yeah,
I learned from so I also like draw, right? And I learned to draw hands like also by looking at it. But I saw once this video by Jim Lee, and he basically explained that the hand starts for him with a with 5 corners. So what's it called? A shape with 5 corners.
Pentagon.
I don't think it's a pentagon. Sorry, guys, I forgot what it's called. Perhaps you guys know, but it starts with that, and then the thumb is on one end, and the fingers on the other, right? And the other shapes were the rest of the palm. That worked really well. So I kind of used that method for ever since.
Absolutely brilliant. Basic shapes and basic skeleton.
Pentagon.
And that's what we're going through here. Yeah, and the pentagon, I also teach with a pentagon fist. If you look at a fist, right, that's 5 sides. You can do it with that as well.
Yes.
You know, I love when my hands in front of the camera. You see that foreshortening?
Yeah.
I love doing that. Anyway, I digress.
Yeah, that's what I also did. Like in front of the mirror, you kind of look at your own hands in front of the mirror, and you try to draw it with your other hand, right?
Yeah.
So right.
Cool stuff, man. So Tough Stuff 1. I go through a few drills with hands in feet. So, of course, they're not all here, but I've got a few extracts for your viewers. So these are some of the most typical from the pages. And, of course, you see the space on the left. This is for you to then practice here on the page.
Yes.
Next to it.
So you are a like a veteran right now when it comes to drawing, right? So do you still, when you draw, do you go through all these steps, or can you like skip a lot because you already know it? It's kind of in your system now.
Yeah, I can skip a lot of these steps some of the time.
Yeah.
But you know, sometimes you're doing something, you get a bit stuck. I'll go back to this methodology.
Yeah.
It's something a bit complex, especially when you've got people fighting, and there's a lot of limbs interacting, etc. And you're drawing through the object. Someone's hand goes behind someone else. You want to make sure that arm is the right length. So you draw the entire arm and you erase the part you don't want. If you try to guess it coming out the other side of the other person, there's a strong likelihood that arm is not in the right trajectory or the right length.
Yes.
Yeah. You see that often. You see some comics published with that obvious mistake being made, where the person hasn't drawn through the object.
Yes. I even notice it sometimes with pages that people draw for me, and I ask them, can you please, like the arm, it doesn't feel right, it doesn't connect like in a logical way, right? Yeah
That's right.
Weapons.
It definitely does happen. It's easily done, very easily done. So this is a bit more tough stuff one. This is holding a gun. The mistake that I made as a kid was that what you do is you draw the gun first. I'd always draw the hand first, right? And as I say to my students, if you think of a character holding a gun, in your imagination, you're thinking about the gun more than the character. So the prop is actually more important than the character. So what you do is you draw the prop first. But the prop is not pliable. If the prop is at that angle, the hand has to be at that angle in order to hold that prop. So in this book, I get people used to treating a prop as either an extension of the skeleton, like here, this example. Oh, sorry, I didn't have it there. But I would treat sometimes a weapon as another skeleton, not even a shape. You treat it as part of the skeletal composition.
Right.
And then again, feet. Feet are tricky. So tough stuff one. We look at some fundamentals with feet, rounded triangles, these kind of things, right? That really can help. And we're probably going to get that Rob Liefeld comment coming in again.
Yeah. Well, the same goes with Rob Liefeld and weapons. The way his hands hold weapons, it doesn't make sense oftentimes. So, yeah. Marinus is with us in the chat. Welcome, Marinus. Cosmonaut Comics. Guys, Cosmonaut Comics, follow his YouTube channel for daily comic book reviews. Mike says, I don't think that hands commonly, if ever, become easy to draw. I'm not sure. I think there are some professionals, they like, it's pretty easy to them probably because they draw every day, it's their job. So
yeah, it's actually, that's right. It's us. I'm a semi-hobbyist, right? What I mean is I make most of my money still from the commercial teaching sector. My work in comic books earns me some money, but not a living. So we're still all hobbyists. We're still all enthusiasts. But when you're like a full-blown comic artist where you're drawing pages and pages every day, I'm sure that to those guys, drawing a hand is, look at that, feet fetish.
Why not?
These viewers that we've got in these streams sometimes, really terrible people.
Yeah, man. Look, whatever sells your book, right? So because you will be launching this on the 4th or on the 5th?
On the 4th.
On the 4th, yes.
Now the digital copy is available.
Oh,
which is, but that doesn't have space for drawing. That's what I call a guidebook. It's not an activity book. But all the details, a lot of the info is in that book as well.
Oh, cool.
Right. So this is full-length construction.
Yes.
So again, you go from the skeleton, you build it up, you get your trajectories, etc., etc.
Love that figure also, man. It's like this is like you are actually like drawing comic book style characters, right? Oftentimes you see these art books and they basically draw like more realistic, but you already lean into the comic book aesthetic.
That's a great point, Dave. Yes. Now, I'm not telling anyone to not use references, right? You actually, this is me trying to be profound and intelligent, right? What I always say to people is the only absolute in creativity is that there probably are no absolutes. The way of doing anything, you're going to find someone doing something in a way that you would never have dreamt of doing it that way. By the same token, how you like your artwork to look. Now, I'm an old school Bronze Age, Silver Age. It is quite obvious that Jack Kirby did not use references. Right? That is his personality. That's the way he sees reality. Right? This is why I still maintain that Rob Liefeld is a genius. Right? The reason why I class Rob Liefeld as a genius is that we spend our entire life trying to learn how to draw correctly. Rob is a guy who interprets reality to fit the way he sees things. So even if he draws something technically wrong, he has inspired a whole generation of young men to want to draw comics. That is the definition of genius. If you can do something technically incorrect, but still make people want to do it, that is genius.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
that's the way I look at him.
Well,
He's so ridiculous that it comes through the paper, and that's why he succeeds.
This is also because there's more to drawing than just like the techniques, right? It's like, especially with comic books, it has to be dynamic and exciting, and it doesn't always matter if it's not perfect, right?
Yes, that's right. It's those little discrepancies that make someone have. Well, you look at the drawing. Oh, that's Jim Lee. Or that's Bob Liefeld. That's Jack Kirby. That's Bob Layton. It's because the things might not be exactly perfect. It's just the way they see reality. That's what you're looking at. So yes, I'm very much in that vein, Dave. Good point. So here again, but you see here in this first chapter, there's not a lot of foreshortening. The characters tend to be full length. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And this is 1-1. This is from Supercross. And then we've got Matryoshka. She's from Defenders of Europe. That was another book that came out through Thunderzone. It's Italian, actually. Great book, Defenders of Europe.
So there's a couple of pages. That book also. Yeah.
Yes, you have that. Great story, right?
Yeah, it's cool.
Very, very good. I really enjoyed
it. But this is basically the pose you use when you design a character, right? You want it like a bit static because you need to see the costume correctly, and after that you can move it around and do other things with it. But you don't usually design a character in a action pose or something, correct?
That normally comes second. Yes, normally you want to see the front, side, and back of a character, but then you want to see the emotion of the character. So then you would then probably do a drawing where they're in motion, like typically how they would behave if fighting or running around or something.
Right.
Yeah. Now this image of 1-1, this actually came from the comic. That was lifted from the comic. But this Matryoshka, the lady on the right, this was from a front cover of a book.
Okay.
Okay. So then next we come to chapter 4.
That's Matrushka, right? That character. It's Matrushka, that character?
Yes, Matryoshka. Yes.
Yes.
Right. Yes, you recognize her.
Mike says, very appealing art style on display here, Mr. Hinds.
Oh, thank you very much, Mike. Thank you very much.
And Carrie...
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Carrie Louise says, I draw as a hobby and I do fan art as free promo for indie creators. Jerome has really helped me in drawing. He explains in such a great and easy way to understand whatever your level.
Oh, thanks, Kerry. Yeah, Kerry is a great viewer. Yeah, we've been through a few exercises together, and she does some great work. But yes,
cool.
It's really nice conversing with people that have a passion for this. Yeah. And if any way at all that anything that I know that I can share with people, you know, it's totally my pleasure.
Yeah.
So you can see here, chapter 4 is full-length construction with props. So you can see here, I treat the gun as part of the skeleton from the very beginning. There's no fleshing out before you actually identify the props. Again, when I was younger and I used to draw, I didn't used to think like this. It seems pretty obvious now, right? But a lot of young artists, they don't realize this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
And here, so you can see here, this is Dragon Manx. And you can see here, I actually treated his sword as part of a skeleton. You can do that as well. And here with Commando, I treated his guns as part of the skeleton at the beginning. And this is genuine. I actually did this when I was doing these drawings.
Right.
Because I knew that I would later put it in my syllabus.
Really cool, man. So how long does so you also drew your own comics, correct? So you drew your Supercross book. So how long does that take you to like, for instance, every character you have this process going on, right? So every character, you have several characters on this page. So how long is this process for you to produce a comic book page?
Well, I try to aim like what the professionals outline. I try to draw at least one page a day. That's penciling.
Yeah.
Okay. I aim to keep that kind of speed up. But it's like anything. If you got more detail on one page than another, you maybe could finish a page in less than a day. It might take a little bit more. Now, Supercross has a lot of characters, and you've probably heard stories of like the guys who would draw the Avengers or Justice League or Defenders, right? Life is tough. It's very enjoyable, but it can take longer. So what I did with Supercross was I didn't do a lot of blacks, a lot of spotting. A lot of it is just line work. The only characters in Supercross that has spotting or large areas of black are the villains. The bad guys are spotted, but the heroes are not spotted. That was one way I was able to alleviate some of the time. But the coloring, because it's colored with a lot of shading, it's not so glaringly different.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I try to do one page a day if I can. Now here, tough stuff too, foreshortening. I try to break it down, the contour thing especially. So you see, we have the exploded Singapore sling, my character here, to really try and explain what this whole chapter is about. So then we go through some great exercises with foreshortening, different degrees, and foreshortening of a body. This is a particularly tough one.
Yes.
Yes. You know,
I can imagine that sometimes artists, especially new artists, they think it's a lot of work, like building up, like completely constructing this character and the pose, like the way you describe it right here. But actually, it's less work than like going immediately to the cool stuff and then fixing things. Like it doesn't feel right. You have to figure out what is wrong here, right? So might as well start from the beginning. Right. So slowly build it up and saves you time at the end.
Definitely, especially if you're working with an editor and you want to show them your progress. Very early in this process, we're going to see an example in a moment when we get to the front covers. Oh, sorry, Dave, you're at 57 minutes. Have you got to finish on 60 minutes?
No, we can continue.
Oh, okay. All right. I was panicking. All right, good.
No,
right.
sir.
So we're going to see an example of a front cover that I ran by other contributors and Dan. Exactly what you're just saying. The benefit of working in this way, right? We're going to come to that a bit later.
Okay.
Okay. So next here, Tough Stuff 3, foreshortening with forced perspective, right?
Right.
If we look at this can here, right? Now there's something called an isometric drawing. This is where we get a bit technical. An isometric drawing is when you see three sides of 3D image. But we as human beings, we always see a vanishing point. So here in figure 1, this is an isometric drawing of a can, let's say. It looks odd to us because as we look at, if this is the top, this should be smaller because it's going away from us. But a true mechanical drawing, this is more how we would see it. The other side is a little bit smaller. So to explain, I have to put the can on a full plane with a vanishing point. That's what that can actually looks like if you draw it properly.
Yeah.
And if you bring the camera to the front and go close, now this can is under forced perspective. And we find the center of the can. Can you notice that the center of the can, though, is further from here because the distance is decreasing as it gets further from us.
Sure.
Now, I do explain in the book that I'm not a mathematical genius. I can't tell you to what degree where things shift depending on the amount of rotation you got going on. But this is where your artistic eye comes in. You can look at something and maybe it doesn't look right or it doesn't feel right. Some doctors in Australia about 20 years ago, they made the declaration that if you can draw, anyone watching this, if you can draw naturally, quite accurately, you are officially on the spectrum.
Really?
Because it's not normal. Yeah,
okay.
So.
Okay, interesting.
I don't know, Dave, have you ever met someone who really can't draw? Right?
Yeah.
What they do is absolutely abhorrent. That's a normal person.
Okay.
Right? Which is the majority of the world. Anyone that can draw remotely accurately without any lessons. You know, at first when I heard it, I thought that sounds ridiculous.
Yeah.
But the more I think about it, I think it's possible. Drawing it's not natural, it's not normal. You know,
no. Most people. Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
they tell you often anyone can draw, right? I often hear that, and perhaps that is kind of true, but not everyone can actually draw well. Like not everyone is Jim Lee, you know. So Yeah. Crenshaw is welcome, Crenshaw. He says, hello. I just pulled a package out of my mailbox from Critical Blast. Oh, cool. Cool. Perhaps it is what I hope that it is. I'd be normal, says Gordon Goodbrother. I'd be normal. That's a new character for you right there.
I'd be normal. So here's the first perspective on a block. And here with a hand and a gun and the leg. So then we just get into a few exercises. This is Rama X. He's created by Damien Warburton. Okay. And this was for a poster, a piece of promo art that I did. We're going to see this again later on. And you see that foot and that hand, which I didn't actually understand was actually quite Gene Colan inspired. He did a lot of stuff. You know, you look at these things and it goes into your psyche and you don't realize that it's affecting you. Here, Captain Nova, again, from Defenders of Europe. This very large fist and that foot. Yes. And look how small that hand is in the distance.
Yes.
Engaging these distances here and it not looking terribly. I remember when I was younger and I would do this. Things look very, very off.
Yes.
You know, and it's this thing here, what we just did here. Like if we look at the cube here, you see there, that halfway line, you see that halfway line? There? Yeah. That distance there, I think this is the autism. Judging this.
Right, yes.
For want of a better term. Right? Or if you've practiced enough, you can gauge it. But yeah, this is where it gets tricky. Okay.
Some person asks, do you have a link to this book? So people are really interested.
Yes. Now, did I bring a link with me? Oh, it's normally on my own page.
No, I didn't. I didn't receive a link to the because you will. Oh, you said you have a digital version out right now, correct?
Yes, the digital version is available for downloading immediately. And
okay, cool.
I can maybe put a QR code up here in a moment. Why didn't I put the link?
And the physical book will be released the 4th of July.
Yes.
Through Amazon. Through Amazon, if I understood correctly.
Yes. And where we will be broadcasting live on Madness Entertainment Group, 2 sessions. It's quite funny. We have Late Night Art Attack, which is late on a Friday night at 1 a.m. Saturday morning. So we're going to have that. Then I'll be back again at 10 a.m. with the first half of the launch. To 12 p.m., I'm going to have a few guests from over here in Asia, drawing characters from the book, etc. Then I'll be back from 3 to 7:30, which is then my Super Saturdays draw-along stream extended. And I'm going to have some guests over from the States. And Dave, please, if you're free at that time, you should be awake. It would be great to have you on. Just draw any character of your choice. You know about Thunderzone, so you know about all the characters, not just mine.
Yeah.
You choose any character you like. Just come in, sketch it live, add to the party atmosphere.
Yeah, it could be fun, man. Could be fun.
All the viewers are invited to come in. You know, that's happening on Independence Day next Saturday.
Cool.
Right, so here we've got chapter 7, rendering, penciling, and shading. And here I'll go through some techniques of holding the pencil, how to hold the pencil, get the best wrist action, and good practices in rendering pencils. And at the bottom here, spotting, feathering, and cross-hatching. So just explain some basics.
These drawings showing how you should hold the pencil are in themselves already like little masterpieces. Like drawing the hand, that's tricky. These are tricky drawings.
Actually, quite, because they're meant to be a bit more realistic.
Yes.
You know, and me and my bad habits, right? I just refuse to look at a reference. I'm just trying to get it as accurate as possible, but from my memory. So yeah, definitely the ball of the hand. See this part here, this hand. If you can get used to swiveling this, your control is much better.
Yes. Of
the pencil, making the contact with that. Then I get into some of the ideas behind the feathering, the shading. So spotting, like there's an artist called Bart Sears. He really does feathering or shading. He has solid blacks, and that's just broadly known as spotting. Then you get feathering, which is one set of lines, and you've got cross-hatching, where you can add another set. So here, again, this is Officer Alloy that we're using here. Here's his foot with the same rudimentary treatment. Spotting, feathering, cross-hatching. And the light source is coming from the right. So here, you'll see in the book, I'll read this disclaimer down here in red. It says, for the following exercises and your convenience, use your mobile phone to snap the newer studies for reference while you work on your original exercise sketches. So a lot of what we're going to see from here, you would have already sketched earlier in the book. So you take a snap now and go back to your original sketch, and you look at your hand phone while you're applying the new imagery. Now, why isn't my page changing? Hang on. My computer's stalling. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so here. So remember, we saw Sweet Tooth and Officer Alloy earlier. You can go back to your original sketch. You see it says here from page 12, from page 13, just in case you can't remember. You go back there, and then you will start to apply this to your image. And it could be digital, or it can be traditional as well. You can do this. You can either do it in a PDF file, or you do it on the printed book that you've got. I mean, you can scan the pages and do this. Yeah. And here's the promotional work that I did for the squad and Big House Blues. You can see how it originally appeared. That's why the light source was coming from the left on all of these characters that we're going to see, these bus shots. So there's Clara from the squad.
Yes. I never knew how to pronounce the name. So this is the first time I actually hear someone say the name.
Yes, the G and the H is silent. Clara.
Yes.
It's not Cladar or Cladaf. It's Clara.
Okay,
right.
okay. Now I know.
If Nigel watching, he can chime in and correct my Irish. My Irish is not the best. Right. So then after that, we've got penciling to inking. So again, similar. We talk about spotting. And now when I draw, we're going to come into this in a moment, right? When I work digitally, my key lines, look at these images down here, bottom left. My key lines are on a separate layer. This is what I call detail. This is on a separate layer. Then my spotting is on another layer, and my hatching is on another layer. The reason why I do this is that if you're coloring, you can paint bucket this first image. So when you hand these images to a colorist, they can use the paint bucket and the magic wand tool instantly. And their process of coloring will be much faster than if they've got to cut around detail and spotting and hatching. That's why I work in that way. Then here, there are some exercises in tracing over these lines, thick to thin. Okay, I'm very old school. I like brushes and thick pens. I like very varied line widths. So from thick to thin or thin to thick. And there's a couple of exercises here for you to go over. This is Subject Alpha's glove that came. And this is, now she's not actually, this comes from, this is hot off the press. This image here of Major Payne appears in a book that's not published yet, but I put it here just for the inking practice. And here you can see I've mentioned about the spotting and something that I've dubbed the gradation style, where the hatching comes out of the spotting in a horizontal manner, these ones down here. But this is more traditional where the spikes come out. Then we talk about textures like wood and all the rest of it.
Cool.
Okay.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So this is where we get into some of the inking techniques. And these, remember we saw this image earlier? We saw this commando, the basic sketch when we treated the guns as a skeleton. So that was in the sketching section. And now here's how to apply the inks to that same image. And this is very image, what I call dab hatching. You kind of drop the pen, you come up, and then you come down heavy at the end again, whether it's a pen or a brush. And you'll see he has this kind of inking going on. And this is Commando, sorry, Marshall Strong and Mike Clandestine. These came on the front of books and promotional work. So that's the inking chapter. I can't put too many examples in here or we'll be here all night. So then we come to the digital coloring. And I use Clip Studio Paint, not Photoshop. We all use Photoshop, love Photoshop. I've got nothing bad to say about Photoshop. But if you're doing comics, Clip Studio Paint is the number one software in Japan for good reason. And digital coloring and shading. Now remember, comics are commercial art. You're dealing with a deadline. So the genius of comics is it's trapped between fine art and commercial art. Fine art is you take as long as you like to perfect your masterpiece. Commercial art is for money and it needs to be fast and accurate. Comics is in the middle. This is what causes a problem. That's what causes so many arguments and all the rest of it. So trying to balance this, I've come up with a way of coloring that I think is the fastest I can think of. And it involves dodge and burn, a tool named dodge and burn. Again, I'm sure lots of artists use this, but I can't find any specific comic colorists that are sharing knowledge about this. I'm sure they're using it, but I can't find anyone that's talking about this. So here, this tells you how to use the dodge and burn technique for coloring a comic from what I can see, the fastest way possible if you want gradations of color. There's different styles of coloring. I like liquid colors. Remember liquid from 90s? Liquid coloring, the studio. Yeah, I love that.
They colored work together with Madureira.
Yes.
Yes, they did a lot of his books.
Yes.
By the way, one sec. I need to say hi to Houston.
Oh, Texas Dave.
Texas Dave, welcome. welcome. And let me see. I thought, Dan dropped a link to the Amazon, like an Amazon link, perhaps to this book. Is that possible?
Thanks,
So yeah, you're all artistic, says Woodrow.
That's very clever. You only got to change one letter. Just change the U to an R.
yeah. And Marinus observes that it really goes in depth, impressive. Yeah, it's complete, like a complete course, right? This book.
Yeah, I think if someone buys this book, they will be very much more equipped to do something original from scratch.
Yeah.
From penciling to coloring. I think so. Yeah, and it's not tough stuff. This is quite easy to follow. Right. So
it's also really cool that you mastered all these disciplines, right? Because within comics, especially, you have a lot of different, many books. They have a penciler, inker, colorist, and there are a few people who can do it all, right? But this book can be used by all these disciplines.
Yes, that's right. I especially want colorists and inkers, there's a few things that I couldn't get into in the book. I couldn't get into backgrounds and perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't get into lettering. We couldn't explore lettering.
Okay.
And we couldn't explore storytelling. So I've asked in the book, if I sell a few copies of this, enough feedback, the volume 2 would cover those things.
All right. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So applying all of this, we saw Dragon Manx earlier. So this is the base colors. So we have here a swatch.
Yes.
This tells you the base colors.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is simple black and white using grays and black and white shading. Dodge and burn. You can do something like this, right? You can dodge and burn this Dragon Manx image here in less than 10 minutes, I'd say.
That's really cool. Yeah, so you can basically use the flat colors, and on top of that, just blacks, right?
Yep.
You create this effect already. That's cool.
Yes. So the burn does the shadows. I always start from the shadow. You do the burning first, then you do the dodging. And there's no mixing of colors, nothing. That comes a bit later, where things get a bit more complex. So again, here's our man Commando. We saw some of these exercises earlier. So, you would return there. If you want to apply color, you scan it into a computer, or you can do this with marker pens. This shows you where the lighting is falling.
Right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So here's the last chapter, covers and promos gallery. So this is what I was telling you. Me and Dan discussed the logo right at the top. So this is some of the corporate ID development that we did back in the day. Okay. So here's my Supercross comic. Now at the bottom here, bottom right, this is how the comic came out in Singapore. But Dan wanted a different cover for the US market. So then I came up with this one. And this is Supercross #1 in the US market.
Right.
Okay, so you can see.
So you have a different cover in Singapore.
Yes, Singapore has a different cover.
Okay, cool.
And both of these poses here of D Tomasic and Singapore Sling, they're in the book, right? The sketch poses. We saw this one earlier in the foreshortening, the exploded drawing of Singapore Sling. Right? We get into different rendering of her as well. So here, what you touched on earlier, Dave, about when you're working something out, you can see here, this was a cover that we did for backers. These were different backers with their characters came in for a joint cover, as a Kickstarter reward. So when I was working this out, I had to run it by Dan and also the other backers. So you see here, this particular image, top left on the right. That's when I did the first draft of it, and each person could see where their character was going to be.
Yeah.
So got the thumbs up. So then I sketched it, and this was the inked version, and this later was a colored version. And quite often now, when I do work for Dan, it goes to a different colorist. But back in these days, I was going right through from the sketching to the coloring as well. So I did the coloring here as well.
Great. That's great.
Okay. I think that's the last page. Yeah, I disciplined myself. That's the last page in this presentation.
Okay, wow. And that's just a selection from the book, right?
From each chapter, yeah, that was a selection from each chapter.
Holy shit,
Yeah.
that's it's very in-depth, very elaborate. So basically, everyone who wants to learn how to draw comic books should pick this up.
Yes, please. It would be much appreciated.
Yeah. Some person says it looks like Jerome is live streaming on July 4th at 10 a.m. Eastern. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Yes,
that's right.
Thank you so much. And it's this will be on your channel. Some person also dropped your channel. Is the link?
Yeah, it's on Madness Entertainment Group. So wherever Madness broadcasts to, you're going to find it.
Oh, cool.
Or Jerome Hinds Art. You can find my streams on Facebook and YouTube, Twitter, not Twitter, X. I'm everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Great.
sorry, it's 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Then we have a break. Then it's 3 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. There's a second session. Okay.
Wow, fantastic. And that's a campaign or just a launch, or is the launch of because not the campaign, right? It's basically the store. So you can get it from that day on officially.
That's right. If you go to the Amazon store now, you can download. This is actually the cover to the guidebook. You can download the guidebook. That's the digital edition. But only from July the 4th can you actually order the hardcover or the soft cover versions.
Okay, great. Fantastic. Really cool. Man, this is the first time I had someone here with something like this, like our book, drawing the Thunderzone characters, which is basically you can apply this, guys. You don't need to draw Thunderzone characters. Would be cool. These are cool characters, but if you want to learn how to draw your own characters, this is a fantastic book. It explains everything from the beginning up until the final image, right?
Yeah.
Really cool. Thank you, man. Yeah, thank you, Jerome. Really cool, man. I need to remove this now. Let's see if I missed anything. Join Jerome on Saturdays. Yes. Join Jerome on Saturdays.
Yes. Join Jerome.
Yeah, join Jerome. Yes. Really cool, Jerome. Thank you. Thanks so much, man, for showing this and for doing this and for making it. I think it will be very, very helpful to a lot of people. And it's something new. It's something new within this because we are part of this indie comics space, right? And most people like to showcase complete comics, but this is something like the production of comics, which many people want to do. So this will help them. So really cool.
That's right, Dave, because you want these indie characters to have a presence. Like, you know, you put them in this environment, it's like, yeah, learn how to draw someone else's character. And for the creators out there, for these different writers, it's nice to see someone else trying to draw your character. To see fan art of you always see Spider-Man, you see Batman. But, you know, to see an independent character drawn by other people or shown how to draw it by other people. Yeah, you're quite right. This is the spirit that I want to try and foster, if possible.
Cool. Really cool. Yeah, absolutely cool. One question from Crenshaw. He asks, is Jerome on X?
Yes, I am. But I'm a hell of a boomer. My stuff is all streamed there, etc. But I don't really comment there very often.
Okay. So, but just your own name, people can find you if they look for Jerome Hinds, right?
I'm Jerome Hinds art. Yeah, they'll find me there.
Okay, cool. Guys, go find Jerome on X. I put your Facebook profile below this video, so people can follow you there also. So wherever you can find Jerome Hinds, just type in the name and you can find the good man. Follow him. Be there Saturday and be there with the launch of this book. Right? Support this, guys.
Thanks.
All right. All right, guys, before we close off this show, this stream, I have my own thing going on, which is Safeguard Pandemonium. Safeguard Pandemonium, guys. Let me, this is, oh, yes. We now have 64 backers. That's great. We launched yesterday. So really cool. I'm really happy with the results that you guys showed up and for the support. Thank you all so much, guys. So this is, if you like superheroes, if you like the Thunderzone, you maybe also like the Jerome Comics, the Genuine Verse, right? So we make superhero books also. And I work together with fantastic talents like Pau Rodrigues and Alan Goldman. And Alan Goldman is the artist of this particular series, this book. It will be a series. This is the first issue, right? But yeah, so if you are familiar with our universe, we produce a lot of books, and one of the books we do is Perfect 10, which is now out in the first trade paperback we made, guys. And these characters first appeared in the Perfect 10 series, and now they have their own book, Safeguard, the first issue, and Alan Goldman was signed on to draw this series. It's so professional. It's so cool. It's really 90s. If you like the 90s, it has that 90s energy, you know.
Nice.
Yeah, I love it so much. I'm so proud of this. This is the second cover by Pau Rodrigues, artist of Perfect 10. So he made the B cover. And then we have a exclusive wraparound cover. This is C cover. We made this for. This is here. On the Kickstarter campaign, you can get this one here, and this will be more exclusive, right? So the other two covers will be the main covers, and this will be just for the campaigns. So yes, also drawn by Alan. Plus, Alan Goldman's artwork is so cool that we kind of wanted to do something with the basic raw pencil art, right? So you can get the complete book. Without any inks, without colors, even without the lettering. This is pure pencil art, right?
Yeah.
And if you purchase this, you will get the free digital book. So the normal book, you'll get the digital version, right? Which, by the way, goes for every purchase. Every book you buy, you will get a free digital edition also. So his art is just really cool to look at, just from the pencil stage only. So detailed. We have the back cover by Pau Rodrigues, featuring the villains that we made specifically for this adventure. Really cool, love it. Some examples from the pages. It's we have two colorists. We have James Marino and have Bruno Hang. So this is colored by James, these are professionals, guys. So this is. Because Alan Goldman, he connected me with James. Alan Goldman has favorite people he likes to work with, and this is how these projects often go, right? So people like to work with each other. So you have to allow these people to find each other in your own project, so you get the best material possible. Everything connects, everything works. The inking here is done by Yves and Lirio, and the second half of the book is inked by Thiago Gomez. Look at these colors. It's amazing. It's amazing.
It's phenomenal, man.
I know, man. It's crazy. So yeah, Kickstarter asked me to censor some stuff because we need to think of the children, right? So yeah, really cool. And of course, Alan can draw fantastic. And we have some examples of the pencil page. So here you see the pencil work of that earlier page, pencil layer. Yeah. This kind of goes into your like what you were talking about, this layered work, right? You have the pencil art, and then the inks, then the colors.
Yeah.
And as you can see, this is quality stuff, guys. And so please go help us make this. So by the way, the book is almost done. Alan needs to draw 3 more pages. This book is 32 pages, so he's working right now on page 30, and then his work is done. Meanwhile, by the way, you can follow Alan. He has his YouTube channel where you can follow his work. He's right here drawing a page from Safeguard, from this book, and you can also follow Thiago. He has his YouTube channel where you can see him ink the Safeguard book, so you can follow everything, the entire process.
All right, that's
really
nice.
Cool. Yes.
That's
all
nice.
right, guys. So I have this linked in the chat, but I will put it there again. So I will put the link in the chat right now. So please go share it, guys. So please share out this campaign on your social media. We just launched, so the more people see this, the better. And thank you all so much for sharing and backing, and excellent stuff.
Safeguard right. Pandemonium. Nice one.
Yes. 59% funded. Oh, cool. That is cool. Yeah. Can we make it to 60 today? Oh, wow. Jerome, thanks again, sir, for being my guest for today and talking about your wonderful book. People need to check it out. Man.
Thanks for having me on.
And special thanks to the chat for everyone who showed up today. Thank you so much for the interaction and the questions and for sharing. And if you liked this conversation, please give it a like. And if you did like the conversation, give it a dislike. And I'm very sorry. I'll be back. Next week with a new drink with Brink, but perhaps I'll be online more often because I have the campaign going on. I need to talk about that, and I'm doing the campaign tour, so you can find me on other people's channels. So if you have a channel where you don't mind having me on to talk about my campaign, please let me know, reach out to me. I'm very happy to do that. And thank you. All right, guys, it's time to leave. It's time to go. So thank you all for being here, and see you all next time. Bye, guys.